Hello, this is a tutorial on discovering ancient Greek via Genesis, and this is an appendix to my video Genesis 1-1-4 because I realized I made an error and I want to correct it now. Okay, so let's start with going back at English translations of Genesis, the beginning of Genesis. So let's start with John Wycliffe, who back in the 1300s came up with the following: "In the beginning God made of naught heaven and earth. Forsooth the earth was idle and void, and darknesses were on the face of depth. And the Spirit of the Lord was borne on the waters. And God said, Light be made, and light was made." Okay, so that's the first major translation in English. Then we have William Tyndale, back in sometime in the 1500s. "In the beginning God created heaven and earth. The earth was void and empty, and darkness was upon the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the water. Then God said, Let there be light, and there was light." Then we get the King James Version, which was published in 1611. "In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, Let there be light, and there was light." And so verse 3 tended to become fossilized into English translations ever since. And I don't think it's entirely accurate, and it's misleading, and that's probably why I made the error I made. So let's have a closer look at let's take a look at various verb classifications. These aren't perfectly labeled, but I'm trying to make them sort of give you a better idea than the traditional labels of what they mean. So you can classify verbs by tense, in other words, past, current, or future. By time perspective, whether it's specific, the action occurred within a specific time frame, usually fairly short, or durational, whether it's the action extended over time or was repeated, and completing, whether it was the action was just completed or whether just completed recently. Okay, and then there's the tone. I call the normal tone narrating, although it encompasses lots of other things. Then there's conjecturing, wishing, and commanding. And then there's the mode. It can be acting. The verb can act on something, or it can just be doing something. Then there's self-centering mode, which means the verb is reflexive on the subject, or it's acting, the action is in the interests of the subject. And there's reversing, where the verb reverses the action back onto the focus noun, the subject or the focus noun. And finally there's number, can be singular, dual, or plural. Persons, first, second, or third. That's like I, thou, or he, she, and it, or it. Okay, so those are roughly the classifications the Greek verbs go into. And let's have a look at the word gignomai. So gignomai has no acting version. Okay, there's only self-centering and reversing. So self-centering, I come into existence for myself, or I bring myself into existence in the reflexive sense. In the past specific, you have a geneto. It came into existence for itself, or it brought itself into existence. And in the specific commanding classification, genesto, make it come into existence for itself, for its own good, or make it bring itself into existence. Now you'll notice that the word in Genesis is not that. It's geneteto. So let's look at the reversing. Past specific. Genete. It was brought into existence. The verb goes back onto the focus noun or focus noun substitute. And in the specific commanding version, geneteto, make it be brought into existence. So that's make it be brought into existence is our is the translation we want. So let's correct our translation here. Okay, I could use existence or I guess existence or being, whichever. Okay, now I have to correct my vocabulary and my verb charts. So let's go find the vocabulary. I don't need, whoops, I don't need that to be italicized in the vocabulary. And this is not self-centering, it's reversing. Okay, and now let's look at our our verb charts. And so we'll have to correct this. Let's okay. So all right, so this one we had it here. All right, this one. Whoops, I went the wrong way. Okay. Genesto means make it come into being. But that's not what we this is the word that we had, and let's change this to reversing. And now let's change this translation. I'm going to need this wider. Hopefully it'll fit. Make this a little smaller. Okay, and one more word to correct here. veganete. So you notice if the word has a theta eta in it near the end, it's probably a reversing. In a reversing mode. And translation, what did we say here? It was brought into existence. And I need to make that wider. Okay. I hope that fixes everything. And that will, for now, conclude my mea culpa. So, but if you see, I didn't catch this error until I got to about the start of day 3. So if you see this mistake in a few subsequent videos, you'll know in your mind that it has to be corrected. And we all learn by our mistakes. Okay. That's it for now. I hope you continue on your journey through the tutorials, and see you in the next one.